It's no easy thing for a man to be a dragon slayer. But dragons can kill dragons.
So guys, in the Game of Thrones series we get a chance to watch one of the greatest battles between humans and the White Walker, and now with its prequel series House of the Dragon, we are again going to witness one of the most devastating wars in Westeros history. In the Game of Thrones series it was the humans who won the battle, but the Dance of the Dragon is just begun, so to answer who wins the Dance of the Dragons is not so simple. However, to know how the battle goes and in the end who won it, stay tuned till the end. In the beginning of the series House of the Dragon, Princess Rhaenyra and Alicent Hightower were both young and they were good friends. It was years before the Dance of the Dragons when King Viserys Targaryen chooses Alicent to be his next queen, which begins their relationship sours. Viserys and Alicent have 4 children together including 3 sons. Once the king's clear successor, Rhaenyra now had the competition of Aegon II, Viserys' firstborn son. Between the whispers of Otto Hightower and the troubled relationship with Rhaenyra and her side of the family, Alicent becomes a major player in this rising conflict and eventually supports her son's claim to the throne. The two factions become known as the Greens and the Blacks, when Queen Alicent attends a tourney in a Hightower green dress while Rhaenyra wears the traditional Targaryen black and red. Rhaenyra first marries Sir Lenor Velaryon and has 3 children with him, although Harwin Strong is the real father of these children. Following Lena's death, Rhaenyra marries her uncle Daemon Targaryen, and as soon as Viserys dies, the war for his succession begins. Though Alicent is motivated primarily by ambition for her children and her firm belief that Rhaenyra's children are bastards unworthy of the crown, however she doesn't have any real passion for gender politics. However, the biggest turnaround comes with the Aegon's Song of Ice and Fire dream, which makes confusion to Alicent's decision. Rhaenyra's side has an initial advantage because they hold Dragonstone, therefore they have more dragons and dragonriders than the Greens. However, the Greens have the royal treasury and all the vestiges of King's Landing, including the Iron Throne, which is the reason for the battle. The Dance of the Dragons results in the deaths of nearly all the Targaryen dragons, as well as Prince Daemon, Queen Rhaenyra, Lady Rhaenys, Queen Helaena and her children, Aemond, Daeron, and all 3 of Rhaenyra's children from her first marriage. King Aegon II effectively wins the war when he has Rhaenyra burned and eaten by his dragon Sunfire in Dragonstone. Before that, Rhaenyra did succeed at taking King's Landing and sat on the Iron Throne for 6 months, but her short reign was a disaster because the war was still happening in Westeros and King's Landing was in chaos. Due to that, Rhaenyra has to flee from King's Landing, but falls into a trap set up by Aegon in Dragonstone. Still, Aegon has been badly maimed throughout the war, and Rhaenyra's death does not stop the advance of her reinforcements from the north led by Lord Cregan Stark. Aegon is advised to surrender, but the king does not listen. In the end, his advisors take matters into their own hands by poisoning the feeble and bitter King Aegon II in his own litter, leaving Rhaenyra and Daemon's son Aegon III as the undisputed leader of Westeros. Aegon III is only 10 years old when he ascends the Iron Throne after the Dance of the Dragons. He has been severely traumatized by the war, the loss of his family, and watching his mother be burned and eaten by a dragon in front of his very eyes. Aegon's only remaining sibling Viserys II was seemingly lost during the Dance of Dragons, though in the end he eventually returned, and after that Aegon is crowned by Corlys Velaryon as the new king of Westeros. Rhaenyra's bloodline technically won out the battle, as all of Alicent's children and grandchildren perished in the Dance of the Dragons. Though Aegon III is initially married to King Aegon II and Queen Helaena's daughter Jaehaerys, theoretically uniting what is left of the two factions. However, she dies tragically only 2 years later, either by suicide or murder. She and Aegon were too young to have children, so this ends Queen Alicent's ill-fated bloodline. Neither Rhaenyra nor Aegon II truly won the war, but the former's lineage lasted longer through Aegon III and Viserys II. Ruling reclusively for 26 years, King Aegon III becomes known by monikers such as the Broken King and Aegon the Unlucky, and as well as the Dragonbane, due to the last Targaryen dragon dying during his reign. Aegon eventually perishes of consumption at the age of 36, but leaves the Targaryen legacy to his 2 sons, 3 daughters and his brother. Aegon's sons both die without male heirs, so Viserys too sits on the Iron Throne after them. Both Rhaenyra and Alicent meet disastrous ends paved by the broken bodies of the dead loved ones and dragons. Alicent spends the last years of her life confined to her chambers and riddled with grief, whereas Rhaenyra sees her reign fall apart before it even begins, which is later betrayed and cruelly killed. The Dance of the Dragons is also disastrous for the Targaryen dynasty, particularly regarding the deaths of so many dragons. This is part of the reason why the Targaryens were not as powerful during Robert Baratheon's revolution, because now they don't have any dragons left to rule. So guys, that's it for today. What are your thoughts on this video? Please tell me in comments. And if you feel this video gives you content, please like and share this video. And before going, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys. We will see you soon.